Welcome to my re-record of the Jumpstart presentation that was originally done by Elaine Wan about how to grow your own business. So what I've done, I've taken some of the slides that she used and recreated them. So all credit to Elaine. And then I'm just going to go through what she was talking about and give you that information in a slightly shorter presentation. Right. So firstly, I'm going to share my screen so that we can, oh, this is the one I want. And I can move, there we go, slideshow from the beginning. There we go. So, as I say, credit to Elaine Wan about how to grow your own business. So, quite a lot of things to talk about. And I'm really looking at growing this as a business of one. So you as an independent consultant, me as an independent consultant, we all joined with the same kit. Mine was a £95 kit, goodness, 12 or 13 years ago, can't quite remember how many years it is now. So it's a case of being able to use that kit and grow it as an individual, but then also potentially looking at as growing a team as well. So we'll look at both sides of it. So business can be like nature. Often people think about, how does a business grow? And my one word for all of this is consistency. So whatever you are able to do, make sure you're doing it consistently. So if that is 5 hours a week, do 5 hours a week. Don't do 10 hours this week and nothing for 2 weeks, because it just doesn't keep that flow of information through to your customers and clients or to your team, depending on where you're at. But I think we only really realise the possibilities of this business once we've started. It's only then you kind of go, oh, okay, this is where it could take me. This is what I could do with it. So you need a little patience as well. So let me carry on. Now, how do things actually grow? Well, when we look at nature, things can grow organically or non-organically. And you may be the sort of person that thinks, oh, do you know what? I'm going to wait for people to come to me. I just want this to grow organically. I don't want to push it. But actually, even in organic farming, things are nurtured, things have nutrients added to the soil, whether that's crop rotation or any other way. We do actually nurture plants, and that's how we get the best out of them. So I think really we need to look at this as maybe growing organically, but with a little bit more intent about what we do. So as I say, it takes time and takes consistency. So let's have a look at the fundamentals of growing your business. Now, I have got some notes here that I'm going to refer to as well. So fundamentals, as I say, there needs to be a desire and an intention. If there isn't a desire and intention, it's basically a hobby. And there is a quote, and this kind of also brings in the treating it like a business, that if you treat your business like a hobby, it will pay you basically pocket money. But if you treat your business like a business, it will pay you like a business and it will give you an income. So you have to decide on where you are at. If you want to treat this like a business, then actually have that desire, have that intention that it is a business. Speak about it as a business. Don't be afraid to tell people about your business. Be proud of what you're doing. Don't just hide it away. I think just sharing what you do, telling other people about it, means that we're much more likely to follow through. So treating it like a business means setting time aside that is very specific for your business. And that is being proactive in the business. And that could be lots of different things. That could be learning, it could be contacting people, it could be packing up things to send out to customers, it could be spending time at fairs and events, it could be doing your social media for your business. That does not mean scrolling. That means actually setting up posts and communicating with people. And I suggest you do a 3-month planner. So a 12-week planner is something we talk about quite a lot. And that 12 weeks, it has to keep continuing. So if you get from today, 3 months, say, becomes the end of April, well, actually next week, the end of it becomes the first week in April, and in a month's time it becomes the end of June. Do you see where I'm going? Well, the end of May, even if I get my calendar correct. So it means that you're actually planning ahead and planning what you want to do all the time. So back to my favorite word, I have to say, which is consistency. So consistency is about finding a way, even when there's challenging times. So we've had many challenging times in my career of Neil Jard Remedies Organic, through limited supplies of products, through catalogue changes. I'm not really sure. In the beginning, we had about, I don't know, 90 products in the catalogue, through you know, days where the websites haven't worked, and then there's the obvious, the last 2 years. But actually, the consistency and finding a way through means we've actually created some amazing new ways of working. So it's about always finding a solution. It makes us resilient. It actually makes us want to be here, to go back to the beginning of that desire to be here, the intention of running a business. But because we're also a team, if you get a bit stuck, if you're not quite sure which way to go, you can reach out to the wider team, to your upline, to me. We're all here to help you through as well. But you have to want to do it. Now, the next one is being simple and scalable. So this is about the way you work and processes. Now, I would say keep it as simple as possible and use ways of working that you like. So if you like a pen and paper, if you like to store your customer details in what we used to call a Rolodex, or on cards, have paper, have an address book, however you like. If you want it on paper, do it on paper. If you like a spreadsheet, use a spreadsheet. If you want to use your phone for your contacts. But whatever you do, do the way that suits you. Now, I'm going to suggest a few things which do involve tech, but if you want to make it scalable, there are some things which are very, very helpful. But do things that are easy for you to make it consistent. I think it's also defining the time that you're going to have. So you might decide on how many hours a week, but actually you need to book those hours in to make sure that you are working your business for a number of hours a week. So that might be, I don't know, an hour on a Monday morning to catch up with all your social media posts for the week. It could be 2 hours on a Tuesday evening, which is either your training time, or it could be times that you do showcases. Just make sure that whatever you're doing, you know you've got a bit of a plan about it, and it's simple, and that it can grow in the future. So whatever you do, don't make it too clunky right now. You can refine along the way, absolutely. But if you can have things that means that if you are doing a showcase for 2 people, that you could actually do that for 10 people. If you decide that you're going to share the business and invite people to come and join you, that whatever you can do for 1 person, you can do for 10 people or 100 people. So choosing the basics. Then it's actually about stacking up great habits. So making sure that things become routine. So whatever you're doing, it becomes your task on a certain day, or how you share information. When information comes to you, say about an offer, then what do you do with it? Make sure that you have a process that you know. If I send out an email that says, we've got a gift with purchase for orders over £40, easily something that comes up, that you've got a process about where are your customer contacts? How do you connect with those customers? How do you do it quickly? So actually, you may well set up, for a lot of people, set up in WhatsApp a broadcast list, because that's the way of connecting with a whole list of people. You only send the message once, and the broadcast list is a great one, because actually you send a message once, it goes to everybody on that list, and they see it if you are one of their contacts. And then actually if they reply, then that conversation is just between the 2 of you. So broadcast lists are a great thing to start to build up as a habit that you can continue. So that could be your best way of communicating with your customers. Likewise, that could be for your team as well, if you have a team. So another way would be by emailing. So having some template emails that you have set up, ready to go, with things like, you know, for customers, could be a particular flash sale. It could be free postage and packing for a weekend. Again, it could be that you want to tell them about your showcases for the next month or 3 months, the dates that you're offering. Have ways of making sure that you can communicate with people. And some of those will be weekly and some of them will be monthly. So as we go through, you'll see some of the things that maybe you can do on a monthly basis, how you keep up with people, how you add your contacts into your broadcast list or your email group, then maybe that's the thing you do weekly. So make sure that whatever the tasks are that you build up, that you decide whether they're daily, weekly or monthly, and then you can continue them. Now, patience. I'm not known for my patience, but I do know that I need some patience for things to work. So don't give up. There is always a path through things. There is always a solution. And as I say, you are part of a bigger group. So if you can't see your way through, if you've got some blocks along the way, then please be in contact so that we can help you. Don't give up your dreams. Whatever you thought you were coming into with this business, when you start working the business and you realize what could become of this, don't give those dreams up. Always have them in advance. For me, it was about financial freedom, but actually the word freedom for me, it was about freedom of time. I can decide when I work. It was about freedom from having an employer. It was about freedom of deciding what I do socially with my time. So that for me was a big thing. It was one word, and actually I still have the stone with it written on, because that was my big dream, and that's that achievement. So we can find that sometimes we need patience with customers. Sometimes we need it with clients. Sometimes we need it with people who are interested in joining the business. Sometimes we need to give people the time to come to a decision about what they would like to do. And building relationships takes time. So you may well, just have joined, you might be new, or you might be reevaluating your business this year and go out there all guns blazing and you want everyone to have the same energy that you do. But actually sometimes you need to just have that patience to connect in a way that suits the person that you're communicating with as well as you. So it's about thinking about it from their point of view, not just from yours. And it's about patience to nurture your business over time. So yes, you can do some great things in a short space of time, but the bigger goals certainly come over a longer term. And then really passion and the purpose, really a given. So for this business, Neilshard Remedies, has massive passion about natural remedies, about products that have no nasties. Our tree, on everything that we do, we have our tree. So let me just grab the seasonal guide, which is always to hand. So, our logo with the tree, it's about our inner health and outer beauty. But there's also, from a tree point of view for our own business, it's the above ground that people see, that's the stuff that you share, but actually below ground are the roots of what you've been doing to create where you are today. So a passion and a purpose. Now, I think we're all passionate about natural, organic, environmental, the planet, all sorts of things, because we're part of Neilshard Remedies. There's lots of companies you could have been a part of, but actually we're here because of what we stand for. And I'm still here because of those reasons. And I've actually worked with Neilshard Remedies for pushing 20 years now, as an employee originally, and now being self-employed. So always, and also to the customer, I think it's about them. It's about trust. It's about us trusting Neilshard Remedies. It's about our customers trusting us, and us being that go-between between the company and what they represent and our feelings, and then passing that to our customers as well. So some quite strong things in there about the fundamentals of growing your business. Hopefully you're agreeing with the principles of what I'm talking about. Okay, right, let's have a look at the journey, what to do next. So the business journey. What I suggest you do, if you've been here for a year or more, then I would say look back at 2021. If you've been here a few weeks or a few months, then look back at the weeks or months you have been here and start to record your personal points, your team points, and your organizational points. And you find these in the genealogy, and you can create a graph on a spreadsheet if you want to. You can draw them in a book, however you want to record them. But always, from the beginning, do all three. Now, at the beginning, your personal points, team points, and organizational points will all be the same. As people join you, if that's what happens, then your personal points will be different to your team and your organizational points. But I really, really encourage you, because actually I look back now from 2009 when I first started, and I can see year on year that growth. And it's really, really encouraging to see how things move along. Now, if you've introduced any consultants or anybody within your team has introduced, then keep a record of those people as well. So you can also see those numbers grow month on month, but year on year, because there is an absolute pattern to our business. So you can see from this graph, this is Elaine's numbers, but you can see along the bottom there's the months, and actually, you know, towards the end of the year there is always a peak, particularly in November. November is often our biggest month. That's when people are doing many more showcases and workshops and parties with us. Lots of people are Christmas shopping, and that does continue into December. You see the rest of the year is actually reasonably even. Now, I think this year, this was 2021, so this was actually, a lot of this was during lockdown as well, so that had a big difference too. So really the thing is about plotting your figures, and that becomes one of your tasks that is simple but scalable. So let's move on. Sorry, the other thing just to think about the numbers is when you look back at them, be really honest with yourself. So even if the numbers haven't gone quite where you would like them to be, you can analyse on what could be improved, what you could do differently for the future. There's no blame game in any of this. It's just a case of being honest, and either continuing to do something and improving it, or if it just hasn't worked, then get rid of it. It's absolutely fine to go, no, that wasn't the thing. I didn't enjoy doing it like that. I need to hone how I do it, or it was a bit of a new thing for me to try and it didn't work, so I'm not going to do it again. So be honest when you're looking at your figures, and what went well. Pick out the really good, what went well, what will I can keep doing, what can I grow, and then, you know, what new things can I add in as well. So let's have a look at the possibilities for your business. Now, this image here is our career plan, and you can see this as a business plan. We all start as an independent consultant, which is the left-hand column. And actually the numbers in here, I'm not going to go through the numbers at all, but I can go through this with you individually, or you can go through it with your upline if you want to have a look at where your goals are going to be set. So have you printed out the career plan? Have you actually looked at what's possible, about the earnings that are possible? And this is when we're talking about you only really realise the potential of this business once you're in it. This is what I mean, is you can start to look at the sort of earnings that are possible from working the business. So you can decide what your journey would like to be. Now, Elaine was sharing on her presentation of this that she decided when she joined, she wanted to become an ambassador. And she knew that other people in the business had got to an ambassador within 3 years. And actually there was somebody then who'd become a senior ambassador within 5 years. So she decided that's what she wanted to do. And you can make the same decisions. You don't have to wait for me to become a particular level within the business. And that's what's amazing about direct selling and this business, is that you can choose where you want to go. You don't have to wait for someone to move out of the way as the CEO of the business, as the director in a certain area of the business. You don't have to wait, you know, in a company where you're employed. If you want to be the finance director, there can only be one of those. So if there's one there already, you have to wait for that person to move on before you've got a hope of becoming that, going into that role. Whereas within direct selling, there is room for as many people who want to go for whichever title. So you decide where you want to go. Now, once you've decided, then you can work back from that timeline. So if you want to be an ambassador in 3 years' time, then actually we need to start looking at what does that look like over that 3 years. Does that mean becoming a senior consultant within 2 months, a team leader within 6 months, a group leader within a year, a regional leader within 2 years, and an ambassador within 3 years? Could easily be the plan. But let's talk individually about yours. If you want to book a one-to-one with me, I'm really happy to work through earnings that you would like to earn, where that's achievable on this list, or if you want to be a super consultant, how many products you need to sell to earn whatever the salary is that you would like. And I think it's also a great time to decide where you would like to be at the end of 2022. So choosing your income that you would like, breaking that down over the 12 months. Now, we've already got 1 month under our belts, at least by the time you're watching this. So that will be potentially over 11 months, but it can all be done. So this is looking at, so 2 ways to grow a team. So it's a business of one. So if you're a business of one, then you'll be selling product and earning your 25% commission plus your personal sales bonus. And that's how you get your income from Neil Shard Remedies. The other way is growing a team where you do both those things as an independent consultant. And then you start to earn commissions from Neil Shard Remedies, depending on the sales within your team. So that's where this chart comes in. So the top part of it is achieving, and then the bottom part of it is earning. And we all earn our retail discount along the top, and we all earn our personal sales bonus. And then the levels below that come from when you're growing a team. Really, really happy to do one-to-one or small group information about that as well. So think about your possibilities. Okay. Let's go on to vision. So you need to know where you're going to know what stepping stones you need in place, your to-do list. You're breaking that down from where you want to be at the end of 2022 down into 3 monthly chunks or seasons, as we're calling them, down to a month about what you need to achieve, and then a weekly basis, and then it becomes really achievable. So goal ideas. So I want to add X number of new people into my network or community. So you can also divide that down by, so say you want to add 12 new people into your team, or build a team of 12 people if you're starting from scratch, then that can be divided by 12 months, so 1 a month. And therefore it could be in week 1 of each month, you decide in week 1, that's when you're going to really focus on having somebody join your team and building your network. If you wanted to have a team of 120, you may want to look at that being over 12 months. That would be 10 people a month, and that would be 2.5 or 2 to 3 people every week. So just break it down into weekly, monthly. So I want to add X new customers to my business. Again, you can pop the numbers in here, and I will promote to a new level within NYR Organic. So you can choose what that level is. I will invest in learning for my business. So by being present at team meetings, NYRO events, so that could be company trainings, it could be like Jumpstart, or it could be the seasonal trainings that we're going to have. The next one for consultants is Tuesday, the 29th of March. So pop that in your diary to make sure that you can make it. It will be team trainings. It will be your own personal learning as well. So if there's things that you need to learn about, then you can also put time into doing that as well. And I will work X number of bookings or appointments or events each month. So again, that's about showcases. It's about one-to-ones or small group chats. It's about doing events where you're going to meet new people. It's about doing online events. So it's a really, really good way of you deciding what you want your goals to be. So these are just some ideas. You can choose what you would like to do. Now, what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I'm self-hosting something, and I'm offering out private showcases to hosts as well. And I know Elaine, from my notes that I've written down, she was saying that when she first started working the business, that she was putting in 2 bookings a week. So that would be, and in those days, we didn't tend to do so much self-hosting. So that would have been 2 workshops or parties a week that she was doing. So that's how she started to grow her business. So just for some information ideas. Now, other ways that you could set this is your 2022 personal goals. I want to change the world. I will change the world in 2022 by X number of blue bottles. So this might be something you want to have on your wall. whether that be if you've got an office, or it could be on your fridge door, or on the screen, on your home screen, on your phone. So how many blue bottles would you like to sell this year? You could also have your personal earnings goal. So that will be from your commission. And also from team commissions as well, if you've got people joining you. And how many people you would like to join you during the year. So what we would call recruitment. So I will help others to have an opportunity to make a difference too. So I would think about, encourage you to think about why you joined and who told you about it. How did you find out about NYR Organic? Because actually, if you're not telling other people about this, I think you're doing them a disservice, because if somebody hadn't told you, then you wouldn't be here and you wouldn't want to be learning more. So I think giving that opportunity as a conversation for people to say yes or no is not being pushy. It's just letting them have the same opportunity that you have. Okay, now, again, any conversations you'd like around this, I'm very, very happy to have. Now, a little clarity. Excuse me, I need to have a sip. It's only tea. So suggestions to achieving your personal business growth. So making sure you're showcasing products in groups, online, in person, however that looks to you. So you've got those opportunities to sell product. Sampling opportunities, which at face-to-face events or social media posts where you start to engage with people, and I wouldn't say just give away things willy-nilly. You need to be engaging with somebody in a conversation to find out what sort of sampling would be useful to them, things that are actually bespoke and things that they would use. It could be through fundraising, all sorts of ways of doing that. Again, through group events, it could be through free shopping that you get from self-hosted events that you would like to put forward for raffle prizes, all sorts of different things. And also testimonials from people that have joined your online showcases, your in-person ones, your customers who are happy with the things that you've recommended. This could be client referrals or client testimonials if you're a therapist as well. Loads and loads of things that you can be doing. But all of those things, it's the main way that we're meeting people, and we need to meet people and new people all the time to maintain growth in the business. And then communication systems, again, things that are efficient and scalable. So your social media content plan, I am not a social media expert, but I do know that consistency with this is the main thing. And I think to really show who you are. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be in every picture. It doesn't mean you have to show your family, but I think it does mean that people get to know you a little bit more other than just pictures of blue bottles. So that might be, oh, I don't know, the view from your window. It could be about even going to TerraCycle to recycle your packaging and things like that. Just things that, you know, it could be gardening and things that are kind of related to what we do, but showing people who you are, showing you having some fun, doing some enjoyable things, as well as business communication as well. As I've mentioned, WhatsApp broadcast lists are a great way to, they're great. I mean, really, really worth setting up and spending the time setting that up, whether you're new or established, as a way of communicating. And that could be therapists, that could be for your clients as well. Email marketing, just a different way of communicating with people. It will have more information in there than probably a WhatsApp message, but using that tool as well, making sure that the people that you're communicating with are happy for you to do that. Your smart catalogue and the QR code, so setting up your catalogue and using the QR code, particularly at things like face-to-face events where people can then scan your QR code. Mail outs, so actually using good old-fashioned post for sending out samples to people, sending out new mini catalogues with a list of when your showcases are going to be. For therapists, making sure that you include your treatment lists in there, any offers that you're doing, new treatments you're doing, anything like that is a really good thing to mail out. And then your follow-up and your thank you processes, so making sure that you know when you follow up with customers who bought products, a week to 2 weeks later, to make sure they're happy with what they've got. And if they're not happy, to make sure that you engage with them and put it right. So if there's a product that doesn't work with their skin, you know, if you can get that return to the company or suggest something that would work with the product that they've got. But don't shy away from maintaining that follow-up. Really, the results of all of this is in the follow-up, building those relationships. Thanking people for hosting, for buying products from you. And that can be just a message, but do be polite and have those extra communications and pop them in your diary so that you know when you're going to do them. And then really, so that's your personal business. And then the last thing is really looking at some clarity and suggestions on achieving goals with a team as well. So making sure that you're showcasing products in groups, you can, doing team training like I do, or sharing things in person or online if you've got a growing team. Sampling opportunities, making sure that you're using events and social media, showing how you can grow your business, learning together, going to things together, being present with your upline, so attending things that I do, joining in with what I do. I just love seeing people. I know lots of people watch recordings, but when we're doing live things, it is really, really great to see everybody there as well. And then thinking about your communications, so connecting with individuals in your team, how you do that, whether that's calls, whether it's WhatsApp communications, in person, going for a cup of tea, connecting as a group, coming together online or in person again, making sure that that's also timely for you. So if it's once a month, that's great. If it needs to be every other month, because that's what's reasonable for everyone, do it every other month, that's okay. Just don't overcommit. So don't overpromise and underdeliver. Don't overcommit and then not be able to do it. Go back to the consistency. What's feasible? What can you do? And as you give more time to your business, it becomes more frequent, but actually in the beginning, make sure that it's in a timely way for you. Lead by example. If you have a team, show them what you're doing. If you're a therapist and you've got therapists that have joined you, share ideas with your team so that you can all build together, and share your vision as well. It's really important that people know where you're going. So all of those things that we've kind of talked about over what I've talked about on this recording, think about how you want to shape that, and do get in touch with any questions and comments. And if you have the questions, I really, really hope I can find the answers. So keep in touch. Okay, that's all for now. My thanks to Elaine for her original sharing of the information, of which I've précédé here as best as possible. And let's keep continuing to grow together. Okay, thank you. Bye for now.